Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Charya Stotra Shata Shishimat His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śiva Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śiva Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudidayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from 4th canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 15, King Prithus' appearance and coronation, verses 17 and 18. I will read verse 17 and then we will repeat together 18. Daśa-candram asiṁ rudraḥ śata-candram tathāmbikā somo mṛtamayān aśvāṁs tvaṣṭā rūpāśrayaṁ ratham. Translation. Lord Shiva presented him with a sword within a shield marked with 10 moons. And his wife, the goddess Durgā, presented him with a shield marked with 100 moons. The moon-demigod presented him with horse made of nectar, and the demigod Viśvakarmā presented him with a very beautiful chariot. Text 18. Agnir āja-gavaṁ cāpaṁ Agnir āja-gavaṁ cāpaṁ Sūryo raśmimayān iṣūn Sūryo raśmimayān iṣūn Pāduke yogamayyau Paduke yogamayyau dyauḥ puṣpāvalim puṣpāvalim anvaham puṣpāvalim anvaham Agnir āja-gavaṁ cāpaṁ sūryo raśmimayān iṣūn Pāduke yogamayyau dyauḥ puṣpāvalim anvaham. Agnir āja-gavaṁ cāpaṁ. Ladies, Agni, the demigod of fire, āja-gavaṁ, made of the horns of goats and cows, cāpaṁ, a bow, sūryo, the sun god, raśmimayān, brilliant as sunshine, iṣūn, arrows, bhūḥ, bhumi, the predominating demigoddess of the earth, pāduke, two slippers, yogamayyau, full of mystic power, dyauḥ, demigods in outer space, puṣpā, of flowers, anvaham, presentation, anvaham, day after day. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. The demigod of fire Agni presented him with a bow made of the horns of goats and cows. The sun god presented him with arrows as brilliant as sunshine. The predominating deity of Burloka presented him with slippers full of mystic power. The demigods from outer space brought him presentations of flowers again and again. Purport. This verse describes that the king's slippers were invested with mystic powers, pāduke, yogamayyau. Thus, as soon as the king placed his feet in the slippers, they would immediately carry him wherever he desires. Mystic yogis can transfer themselves from one place to another whenever they desire. A similar power was invested in the slippers of King Ritu. Om ajnānatimirandasya gyananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrimate Karamakanana Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for coming for Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is very important because it helps us to purify our intelligence. If we don't purify our intelligence, gradually we lose discrimination, what is right and what is wrong. And all kinds of strange ideas start appearing in our mind. So every day to read something in the morning or to hear something in the morning, it's very, very important. In this way our mind becomes purified, our intelligence becomes sharp, and we can discriminate properly. So here we are in the middle of the story of Maharaja Prithu, who is known as one of the incarnations of God. Avatara is the Sanskrit word, and Avatara means someone who is coming down, is coming from the spiritual realm, from the spiritual sky into the material world. And all these avatars, they always come with the same mission. They come to remove the destructive elements or to destroy the miscreants, and they are coming to protect and to support the godly people, the saints. And they are also coming to again and again explain what means real spiritual life, what means real spiritual principles, because we become confused, especially when difficult yuga appears, difficult age appears. people, they have the tendency to accept what is not actually spiritual for very spiritual, and the really spiritual things, they consider them for strange, and they don't want to practice real spiritual life. So again and again, those great personalities, they are coming and they are explaining to us what is real spiritual life, what are the real spiritual principles to follow in life. And here we see how some of the greatest personalities in this universe, different demigods, they are treating this King Prithu in a very special way. And here we speak about very, very high personalities like Lord Śiva or his wife Durgā Devi or Parvati. Actually, she's the personification of the whole material energy. So can you imagine how powerful she is? Or the sun god Sūryo. Just imagine the power of the sun. Agni, the power of the fire. So these are extremely powerful personalities which are in charge for all these planets or elements in the material world. And now all of them, they are coming and they are giving special presents to Prithu Maharaj. That definitely means he's a very special personality. So he is empowered person by the Supreme Lord. Nobody comes to give presents to us, isn't it? Even sometimes we go out on the street and we ask the people to give us something they don't want to give. What to speak that they come on their own and give us something. So, special personalities. Immediately we can understand these are special personalities. And we are not. We are normal human beings. Sometimes we really want to become special personality. We want to be recognized by others as someone special, someone unique. But actually, in spiritual life, this is not our mission. This is not our desire. In spiritual life, rather we want to take the natural position of helping others, being servants of others. That's what Lord Chaitanya is praying. Trinadapi sunichana tarorapi sahishnuna. Let me be humble like a grass. Let me be tolerant like a tree. Amanina manadena. I don't want any respect, any special honor for myself, but rather I'm happy giving honor to others. So like that, naturally a spiritual person, he thinks, I'm not great, I'm nobody special, I'm just insignificant helper, insignificant servant of everybody else. This is the mature spiritual consciousness. And here we see all these great demigods, great personalities in the universe. When they saw the appearance of Maharaja Prithu, they did not become envious even a little bit. But wait a minute, we are the great people in this universe. We are the great personalities. Everyone should worship us. And Prithu Maharaj appeared and suddenly he became immediately the center of attention for everyone. They did not protest. They didn't try to boycott, to make a revolution. Oh, this is not honest. No, rather, gladly, happily, they went and they recognized their superior position and they gave him different kind of presents. Why? Because he was partial manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they were very happy to go and worship him and honor him with different presents. That's again lesson for us how in the circles of the devotees sometimes we may see some devotee can be specially empowered by Krishna. For whatever reason Krishna chose to empower him. We should not try to compare with him. We should not try to be envious. Rather we have to try to serve him. And in this way make spiritual advancement. Sometimes it's not easy. We always like to compare. But Srila Prabhupada is saying in spiritual life there is no place for envy. So we have to throw out envy from our consciousness. I have heard from the devotees that all different qualities, even those who looks like a negative qualities, they can be used in Krishna's service. Like for example, anger. Hanuman, Arjuna, they were using their anger in their service to Krishna. But envy cannot be used. Envy is something we have to just throw out of our consciousness. Otherwise, gradually envy contaminates our heart and makes us degrade, both materially and spiritually, according to the situation. So instead of trying to be a great personalities, let's try to be a great servants of the great personalities. This is our natural position. And how do we do that? How we do this big change? By following spiritual process, by purifying our heart. Actually, everyone wants to be servant. Everyone wants to serve someone. We can see even the greatest personalities in this world, the richest personalities, the most influential personalities, they all also want to be servants. They want to serve someone. This is the thing that really gives them happiness in life. Srila Prabhupada is giving this interesting story. A man had to go and meet the Prime Minister of England. And the secretary said, oh, now he's very busy. He's doing something very, very important. And the man said, okay, I can wait. And he was waiting for some time. And after some time, he became very curious. What is so important that I have to wait? And the door of the cabinet of the Prime Minister was a little bit open. So he just looked inside. What he saw was amazing. He was actually on the ground like a horse. And his grandson was on his back, and he was serving him. So even the greatest personalities in this world, actually, they are not completely happy, satisfied if they don't serve. I remember one time I was distributing books in Bulgaria, in Europe, and I met an interesting person, actually quite influential and rich person. And he said, yeah, I really appreciate spiritual books and I'm ready to buy a few books. Please come with me, we can sit on this cafe and you can drink whatever you like and I can see the books and I'll choose a few of them. So I said, yeah, no problem. If you're going to buy a few books. So he bought me some juice, something, and we were talking. He was looking through the books, he got a few books. And I asked him, so you are successful person? He said, yeah, I have big company, import and export. And I said, so it was easy to make this company? He said, easy? There is nothing easy in this material world. Actually, let me tell you my secret. For 6 years, I forgot what is sleeping. I didn't sleep for 6 years. I was working 24 hours just to make everything successful. And I said, so I guess that means now you are very, very happy. You're very satisfied because you achieved what you wanted. He said, yes, in a sense, yes. But to tell you frankly, I'm not happy. So I said, so what's your problem? He said, now I'm dreaming of something else. I said, what is that? I want to have a very nice, submissive wife, and that she waits for me every day at home, and I can come back after work and we can have fun, we can have kids. She doesn't have to do anything. I'll give her everything she likes. I have enough money. But this is something I'm really lacking in my life. And then I was thinking, just see this man, he became so successful, he had so much, and still he wanted a position where he's a servant. He wants to serve someone. He made all this money, but now he has to use them actually to serve someone. Otherwise, he cannot become really happy. So this is the real success in life, not to try to be a master, but rather to take the natural position of the living entity of a servant. This is the only way to become happy. Anyway, we are serving in this material world. It doesn't matter if we are recognizing it or not. But if we recognize it and we happily take this position, then we'll be really satisfied. So yeah, we said the big change is coming by following the spiritual process, and the essence of the spiritual process given in this Hare Krishna movement by the founder, by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, is the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. This is the essence, this process of mantra meditation. It is the easiest and the fastest way to purify our heart, to purify the mind. It is very simple process because everyone can do it. But sometimes it's not so easy to do. Why? Because we have to give up our idea for sense gratification, and we have to chant the names of Krishna, and we have to focus our mind on the names of Krishna. But sometimes it's not so easy to focus our attention. And now I would like to discuss some practical things that experienced devotees giving as advice, things that can actually help us to improve our chanting. Do you want to hear them? Are you sure? Okay. So the first step, the first thing we can do when we start chanting is we can try to situate ourselves in Sambandha Gyan. What is Sambandha Gyan? Sambandha Gyan is spiritual knowledge, knowledge about who are we, who is God, and what is our connection. When we chant with this knowledge, our chanting becomes much more deeper. So who are we? Sometimes devotees like to repeat prayers to remember these things before they are chanting. Like, for example, we have a famous prayer, Naham vipro na cha narapatir, na vaisho na shudro, naham varni na cha grihapatir, navanasto yatirva, kintu prodani kila paramananda purnamritabdir, gopi bhartu padakamalayor dasa dasa anudasa. Who am I? I am neither Brahmana, intellectual, neither Kshatriya, warrior, neither Vaishya, businessman, nor Shudra, just ordinary worker. I am not Brahmachari, I am not family man, I am not retired person, I am not sannyasi. I am simply servant of the servant of the servant of the master of the gopis, Krishna. This is my original position. And who is Krishna? Viśvakarmā Krishna. He is the supreme controller, Satchitananda Vigraha. He is completely spiritual. He is not one of the personalities from this material world. Anadir Adir Govinda. He is the beginning of everything. He is the oldest personality, Purana. Anadir Adir Govinda. He is the person who is giving real happiness to the senses. Sarva Karana Karanam, and he is the cause of all causes. He is the initial cause of everything. So this is the position of Krishna. So we remind ourselves, what is our position? What is the position of the Supreme Lord? Oh, we are small and insignificant, and he is the greatest personality. And naturally, we take the position of his servants. And what is the best way to serve God? Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavanyascha svitattvataha tomam tattvato gyatva vishate tatanantaram. Oh, the best way is to serve, perform bhakti, to render service with love and with devotion. So this is the essence. The essence. Our service should be made with love and devotion. There are many personalities, they are also serving God, but they are doing it in an inimical way. This is not counted as devotional service. Many great personalities gave pleasure to God, but they are doing it in an inimical way. This is not considered devotional service. A bhakti should be done with the idea in our mind to give pleasure to Krishna. Oh, I want to do this for the pleasure of God. And when we do that, this is bhakti, is devotional service. So this is Sambandha Gyan. We remind ourselves, who are we, who is God, what is the best way to satisfy Him. And the best way of bhakti is to chant the holy names of Krishna. Yes or yes? There are two ways to chant. One way is to go outside and chant, congregational chanting. And this is very powerful because many people can hear the holy names and they can become purified and they can make spiritual advancement. That's why this is very important. And at the same time, devotees, they practice individual chanting of the holy names of Krishna, which is called japa. And this one is sometimes a little bit more difficult. Why? Because we are alone with our mind. When we are outside with 20 other devotees and everyone is screaming from the top of his lungs, Hare Krishna, then there is no time for the mind to think about anything. But when we are alone in a secluded place with the mind, the mind starts attacking. So this is one thing can help us. Then a second step we can do in our meditation is we can try to work on our motivation. Why I'm doing this? Am I doing it to benefit myself? Am I doing it just for the pleasure of Krishna? And we can also repeat some prayers also to help us for this, like for example the fourth verse of Shikshashtakam. Can you repeat it with me? Nadanam, najanam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhaktir haituki ve. So my dear Krishna, I don't want wealth, I don't want money, I don't want followers, I don't want to become a famous person, I don't want beautiful women or beautiful men, I don't want to be recognized as a very learned personality, very intelligent personality. Only thing I want is mama janmani janmanishvare, life after life. Bhavatad bhaktir haituki. Let me engage myself in service to you. What kind of service? Ahaituki. Without taking anything in return. Let me just try to serve you without asking for anything in return. My dear Krishna, I don't want to make business with you. It's not that, okay, now I'm serving you 2 hours, I'm chanting your names, then you have to serve me 2 hours. It's not like that. No, let me serve you, and if you like, you can reciprocate. If you don't like, you may not, because you are the master, I'm the servant, and the master is free to do whatever he likes. So this is second thing we can do. And then the third step, we can help this process a little bit if we make our ego starve. How do we make the ego starve? Any ideas? Yes, correct. So our ego is attached to so many things. I want to arrange my day in exactly certain way. The way how I like it. I want to create a space around me in an exactly certain way. I want to eat the foods that I really like. I want to get up whatever I like. The false ego tells you so many things. I want the things to be done in a very specific way. And normally we just surrender. But it's actually very healthy for our spiritual life and for our, for the control of our mind, if sometimes we leave the ego to starve a little bit. Like for example, sometimes you say to the ego, okay, today we'll skip breakfast. We'll just not eat. We'll just read and chant. We'll engage ourselves more in spiritual activities. And then the ego doesn't like it. Oh, why we have to fast? I don't like fasting. I like 2 breakfasts. But then if we do this, actually we feel how our mind is getting stronger and our ego, false ego, is getting weaker and weaker. or sometimes we can read more. Sometimes it's very useful to do things that our ego doesn't like to give up. So it makes us stronger. That's why yogis, they like to take these austerities, fast for some amount of time or sleep less, control their breathing, because these things give power to their mind. Their mind becomes very strong, very powerful, very, as we say, fixed up. Have you watched this famous interview with Mike Tyson? They are asking him how he managed to become the youngest heavyweight champion. And what was his answer? Good. Yes. You gotta do that if you want to become the best. You should be ready to take some austerity, some tapasya. In one place he's also saying, I forget about intimate relationships with women for 5 years. I voluntarily took this, and this made me so powerful that I became the youngest heavyweight champion. So austerity gives power to our mind, gives power to our body. Of course, we shouldn't overdo it, because our spiritual process is not just taking austerity, but in the beginning, austerity can help little bit to control our mind. And actually, the best austerity is to use all your time in service of Krishna. This is the greatest austerity. Positive austerity, not negative austerity. If we engage ourselves in serving Krishna all the time, naturally we will forget about eating, we will forget about sleeping. Like when we were young and we were going to parties, maybe some of us are very lucky and they never went. But many of us, we do. And then you become so absorbed in it, you forget about eating, you forget about sleeping. Suddenly it's like 5 o'clock in the morning and you're like, wow, the whole night I was awake. Why? Because you're doing something, you are absorbed in it and you forget about the reality. So in the same way, if we become very focused in the spiritual reality, naturally we will forget about our material needs and hankerings. So this is the third thing can help us in our spiritual practice. And then, when we sit down to chant, things that can help us is first to put our body in a proper posture. If we are straight, then it's more difficult to fall asleep. If our back is twisted, then naturally we start feeling sleepy. Yes, straight, your shoulders back, like a yogi. And then also when we repeat the mantra, we have to do it very clearly, nicely, so that we can listen nicely. So these things are connected with the body. If our body sits properly, if we pronounce the mantra very nicely, very clearly, and if we listen carefully, this will help a lot for our process of chanting. And then second thing is in regards to the mind. The mind has a tendency to all the time wander. Have you wondered sometimes why the mind likes to wander? Yeah? Yes, that's one thing. The senses, they constantly put so much information in the mind, and the mind starts deliberating. He's thinking about these things. Oh, maybe this will be nice to experience. Yeah, amazing. So like that, the mind constantly goes in the past. He's thinking about things that happened before. Why he called me with this name? Why he's treating me in this way? He's wrong, I'm right. Constantly thinking about things in the past, or constantly making plans for the future. And it's very, very difficult for the mind to stay present in the present. Very, very difficult. But actually, the real happiness from life we are getting from the present. We are getting the happiness in life from the present. It's not from the past, it's not from the future. The future can bring us happiness in the future. The past things, good or bad, it's already gone. We cannot do anything about it. So actually our real happiness is connected with this moment, with the present moment. We are discussing on our Bhakti Shastri course that actually the nature of the mind is sattvic. By nature, the mind is sattvic. So if the mind is situated in sattva guna, then he is happy. Sometimes we think, oh, the more things I give to my mind, the happier he'll become. It's not like that. Actually, the mind is the happiest when he is doing one thing at one moment. The moment you make the mind do more than one thing, he becomes distracted and he cannot experience peace and happiness. This is the nature of the mind. The nature of the intelligence is that the intelligence is always passionate, because intelligence should always think about the future, discriminate, compare different things, which is good, which is bad, which is better, which is worse. This is the nature of the intelligence. It's all the time thinking, making plans. But the nature of the mind is in the mode of goodness. That's why the mind can be happy when he is focused on one thing. That's why the yogis, they try to focus their mind in one object. Ideally God in the heart, Paramatma in the heart. So the mind always wanders. This is the conditioned nature of the mind. But the experienced yogi, he should try to bring the mind back again and again and again and again. Like for example in the morning when we start our chanting, in the beginning, no wonder we may notice that the mind wants to wander everywhere. But if we use our power of will to bring the mind back, and when we see that he's going again somewhere, we bring him back, and again he goes somewhere, again we bring him back, actually we will see that gradually it's becoming easier and easier and easier. If we allow the mind to wander wherever he likes, it becomes even more difficult to focus on the mantra. But if from the beginning we try to control him, yes, he may again start wandering, but if every time we bring him back, after a few rounds of Maha Mantra chanting, we will see that it's becoming much and much easier. And our mind is gradually becoming focused. And once the mind focuses on the mantra, he starts relishing the mantra, and he likes it. And actually at some point the mind starts putting arguments. Hey, why chanting only 10 rounds? Let's chant 20 rounds. Let's chant 30 rounds. It's actually so nice. I like it. But this is not in the beginning. This is a little bit later. Like for example, if you want to go to a swimming pool to swim, but the water is a little bit cold, what's happening in the beginning? Yeah, in the beginning, you don't want to get in. Like the kids, they want to push them to go inside, and then, no, I don't want, it's so cold, I don't want to go inside. But once they're inside, they don't want to come out. You cannot make them come out now, because they like it and they just want to stay inside and they want to play. But you're staying already so long, it's so cold. No, I don't feel any cold, no problem, I just want to play here. So the mind is like that. In the beginning, he doesn't want to do certain things, but once really goes into them, he doesn't want to come out. He really starts liking it. This is the nature of the mind. So it doesn't matter where the mind goes, we have to bring the mind again and again back. This is the control of the mind. And then, if we really want to make our chanting powerful, we have to put our heart into the chanting. Because chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is actually a prayer. So how do you offer prayers? Prayer, they should be offered with feeling, yes? The heart should be there. It's not just a mechanical thing, prayer. Actually, the prayer should come from the heart. Otherwise, it's not really a prayer, isn't it? When you are praying to someone, you are praying from your heart. Please, do this for me. Please, please, please. It's coming from the heart. Otherwise, it's not real. So, the chanting, it's about physical position, it's about controlling the mind, but it's not only about that. It's about putting your heart into the chanting. If we manage to do this, then the chanting becomes really powerful. In other words, we have to engage our feelings and emotions into the process of chanting. Because at the end of the day, we are praying to Krishna. And Krishna is not some abstract thing. Krishna is a personality. We are persons, and Krishna is also a person. So when you deal with personalities, feelings and emotions are very important. Yes or yes? Let's say a lady go on a meeting with a boy, and the boy brings a flower, and he just says, "Take it." What will the lady say? "Hey, you have to put your heart in it, otherwise I don't want to accept it." It's not about the flower. It's about the emotions that you're giving with the flower. Is it so? So when it comes to dealings between personalities, it is very important to feel that something is coming from the heart. Otherwise, where is the question of relationship? The ladies, they like to hear that you love them. Is it true? They have to know that you love them. So let's say if the husband goes there and she says, "Come on, for such a long time you never told me you love me." And he says, "Okay, I love you." Is it enough? They'll say, "No, I feel it's not sincere. It should come from your heart. It should be real. It should be with emotion, with feelings." So like that, in our chanting also, we should try to use our feelings and our emotions. And the deeper we go, the better it will become. Meaning that sometimes externally we do express some emotions in our chanting. Let's say with our words we are expressing hankering and we're saying, "Krishna, I really want to be with you. You're so important for me. Please, please, please." But then actually our heart is screaming something else inside. "Oh, I want to go to a party. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to perform austerities." So we should try to take these feelings from the depth of our heart, from the core of our heart, and then it will be very powerful. And then once we try to do all these things, we did our job in the chanting. But now what will happen, it doesn't depend on us. It depends on Krishna. Because at the end of the day, He is the supreme controller. He may give us lots of mercy. He may give us lots of juice or happiness from our chanting, or He may not. He may just purposefully not give us so that we continue pushing and in this way become purified faster. Krishna, He may decide. But in any case, we try to have the mood that it doesn't matter how Krishna reciprocate with our spiritual endeavors, we continue doing our spiritual practice with the same intensity, with the same strong desire to give pleasure to Krishna. And that's why in the last verse of Shri Shiksha-staka we are praying, correct. It doesn't matter how you treat me, you can come and embrace me, or you may not give me any attention. In both cases, I want to continue being your servant, unconditionally. So when we do our part of the job, then the rest depends on Krishna. And surely at some point, Krishna will appear, because the process of devotional service has the power to attract Krishna. This is one of the characteristics of devotional service. Devotional service has 6 characteristics, and one of them is Shri Krishna Karshini. Devotional service is so powerful, it has the power to attract Krishna. It is so powerful, it has the power to attract Krishna. So if we continue performing bhakti with pure motivation and with pure heart, it's a question of time Krishna to be attracted. And And it is said in one, as it is said in one verse from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Jita Jito. Krishna, who is Ajita, who is unconquerable, when he sees the pure desire of the devotee to serve him, and when he sees that devotee is all the time engaged in Shravanam and Kirtanam, listening about him and glorifying him, he becomes conquered. Supreme Lord, he is unconquerable. Nobody can conquer him. But this is a way how you can conquer even him. By bhakti, by devotional service. Ajita Ajito, he becomes conquered. So this is some things I wanted to share in connection with today's verse, and maybe not exactly in connection with today's verse, but in connection with our spiritual life. So I hope they will be of any use in your spiritual practice, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind attention. If you have any questions or comments, if you want to add something, any reflections.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your beautiful class. A lot of points to take home. And I had one question that you mentioned about Sankirtan and chanting japa, two types of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And for chanting japa, we know many things that we should try to hear it and prayerful mood and all the points you mentioned. But what about the Sankirtana? Is that any specific how we should do congregational chanting? We should hear, or is there anything that we should do while doing Sankirtan?
Thank you. Yeah, one great personality who spoke a lot about this is His Grace Indra Prabhu. And he's explaining many things about Kirtan, and it's a long topic. But some practical things that we can have in mind is, when we do Kirtan, we should also try to keep Krishna in the center. Sometimes we have the tendency to become so much entangled into the musical part of the Kirtan that actually the name, the glorification of Krishna becomes secondary. But pure bhakti means Krishna should be in the center. And everything else, it doesn't matter simple or complicated, it's only for the pleasure of Krishna. So this mood should be there. The mood should be that Kirtan is for pleasure of Krishna. It is not for our pleasure. Sometimes we have the tendency to go for Kirtan for our pleasure, yeah? And that's why we discriminate. Oh, I don't want to go to this place, to this Kirtan. No, I want to go to this Kirtan. Wow! Because in this Kirtan I can enjoy more. But actually Kirtan is Kirtan. If we really have this understanding, we will appreciate any Kirtan. It is a known fact that Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, very often he will ask some of his disciples who are singing very falsely to lead the Kirtan. For our amazement, we will think that the best Kirtaniya should lead the Kirtan. But no. He was asking those who cannot sing very nicely, but who are very serious in their spiritual practice, they to lead Kirtan. That was one of the main points again. Why? Because he wanted devotees not to be so much focused on the musical part, but rather to be focused on the chanting of the names. To remember, oh, we are doing this for the pleasure of Krishna. We are glorifying Krishna. So like that it is explained, there is two levels of making Kirtan. One level is when devotee is very much concerned about the external part of the Kirtan. Musical instruments, the rhythm, the melody. And if those things are there, he can really enjoy the Kirtan. But if those things are not there, he cannot enjoy the Kirtan. He thinks Kirtan is dependent on these things. But the higher level of Kirtan is when devotee is appreciating so much the chanting of the names of Krishna that for him it doesn't matter the external part, the musical part. He will enjoy the Kirtan always in the same way. It doesn't matter on the musical side of the kirtan. So that's something to consider, to try always to do the kirtan also for the pleasure of Krishna. And then the good thing of the kirtan is there are no offenses during kirtan. This is the powerful thing about kirtan. When we do japa, there are offenses. We have to be careful. But during kirtan, there are no offenses. So that's why kirtan is very powerful. And during kirtan, we should try to keep our motivation pure. Again, we should try to do the things for the pleasure of Krishna, not for ourselves. We should not try to show off. We have this tendency. That's why, let's say, if you go in one temple, everyone wants to lead the kirtan. Everyone wants to give the class. Everyone wants to take these kind of prestigious positions. But we don't see a queue like for devotees who want to take care of the garbage, or who wants to wash the pots in the kitchen, or who wants to clean the toilets. Normally, no too many volunteers for this kind of services, yes? But when something is prestigious, in other words, when you'll be in the center of attention, oh yes, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. So gradually we should start working on this. In the beginning, everything is good. Everything that encourages us to engage in connection with Krishna, it's beautiful, and we have to do it. Whatever we feel is giving us inspiration to make spiritual advancement, yes, 100%, do it, whatever it is. Prasadam, yes. Beautiful kirtan, yes, definitely, nice class, everything we have to use. But then gradually you should start working on our motivation, like we were speaking about the chanting also. And what is the motivation? Motivation is, let me do for Krishna whatever Krishna likes. And yes, sometimes I'll give the class, next moment I'll have to clean the toilets. Both is devotional service. Both is for the pleasure of Krishna. From the perspective of Krishna, there is no difference, because both is for his pleasure. So like that, if we have this motivation, internal purity, and then we make kirtan with this motivation, our kirtan will be very pure. It will be Shuddha Nam Kirtan. And then it will touch people. If we do the other kirtan, also it will touch people, but it may inspire them not just to make spiritual advancement, but also just materially it may inspire them. But still, kirtan is always good, even if our motivation is not completely pure. But if it is pure, then it's even better.
Thank you, Prabhu. One more question. You like 3 parts of chanting, like posture, pronunciation, prayer. This part I'm always like struggling. We should try to hear the holy name while chanting, right? But if I try to pray, then I cannot really hear it. So I'm like very confused about this.
So you're saying if I pray, I cannot hear the name?
In my heart, if I like pray, then I don't really hear it that attentively. But yeah.
Actually, ideally, the pray for mood should come naturally from attentively hearing the holy name. It should be natural. Because the holy name is the purest object. It's not different from Krishna. And purifies the heart, melts our heart, actually. It is said that sometimes that our heart now is very, it's a heart like a stone. But the power of the holy name can make our heart soft as a butter. So then naturally we put our feelings and emotions in the chanting. But yeah, in the beginning, just don't think about prayer for mood. In the beginning, you just focus your mind on the name. And if you do that for some time, for a few rounds, you'll see that naturally you'll be able to put also your heart, your emotions in the chanting. But then your mind is already focused on the name, so you don't have to worry about that. It's important with what kind of speed we are chanting also. If it's too fast, for the mind becomes a little bit difficult to focus on the name. If it's too slow, also for the mind becomes a little bit difficult to focus on the name. So we have to find a speed where our chanting is not mechanical. Everyone has a speed where he can chant for a long time in a mechanical manner. But we should a little bit avoid this speed, so that we avoid the mechanical chanting. In other words, to keep our consciousness present in the chanting.
I'm sorry, Prabhu, it's a little bit late, but one more question.
Okay, if devotees agree. Do you agree, devotees? Okay.
Is it alright if if we remember the syllables of Hare Krishna while chanting Hare Krishna? Like I'm chanting Hare Krishna and I'm at the same time, I'm remembering the words like Hare. Is it alright? Is that a right way? It's a bona fide?
Yeah. Actually, this is some senior devotees, they recommend this. I think also Bhaktivinoda Thakur recommends this in a way to fix your mind on the Maha Mantra. Let's say in the beginning because in the beginning in the mind may be a little bit difficult to focus on each and every syllable or every word. So in the beginning you try to focus the mind on one word. Let's say you begin with Hare. And every first Hare of the Maha Mantra, you focus your mind there. So until you finish the mantra, the mind may start already wandering somewhere. But then the next mantra comes and again you fix the mind on Hare. So you say Hare a little bit stronger, so the mind comes back. And in this way actually the mind doesn't have long periods of time to go somewhere. So in this way you feel how the mind becomes present. Some other devotees, they give advice that you can put Maha Mantra in front of you. Read the Maha Mantra while you are repeating. It can also help you. Or put a picture of a deity of Krishna and focus on the deity, and in this way remember that actually Krishna is the deity. He's a person, he's a personality. These things may help you to keep the mind focused here on the moment, on your chanting, so that the mind doesn't disappear somewhere.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna.
I would like to know more about these magic slippers. And from class, as you probably have noticed.
Yes.
But I'm happy to be back. I don't know quite what the context is with the sword with a 10 moon sheath and these magic slippers. What was the purpose?
The magic slippers. Actually, we have one pair here in the temple. We are not using them. Do you want them?
Hey, sure. I can be a good marketer. We can make air magic slippers, and then all the donations come to the temple. The Air Jordans, Air slippers.
Yeah, Prithu Maharaj appeared, this king appeared, and demigods, they are special personalities. They have all kinds of gadgets, much higher than ours. Like we have a phone, a computer, maybe a nice car. And these are the things we have. So if you really want to give as a present something to someone that you really value, you give something like that. Yeah, you give him a nice phone or nice computer, maybe a nice car. But the demigods, they have much higher things, material things, but like special things, like special weapons, special chariots, special animals, like this horse which was made from nectar. What is this horse made from nectar? And we don't know, because these are things coming from a higher planetary systems. Or like these padukas, you just put these slippers and then you can travel with the speed of the mind in any place in the whole world. Wow, this is like some kind of teleportation, I guess. But they have these things. And because they wanted to appreciate the appearance of King Prithu, all of them, they came and they wanted to give him as a present something special. So that's why they started giving him all these presents.
So it wasn't necessarily a need. It was like, this is how we're showing that we care.
Yes.
It was for Shiva, right? Shiva.
The Shiva gave present to Prithu Maharaj, to the king, Everyone, all the demigods, all of them, one after the other, they came and they gave different presents. And we'll continue in the next verses also. But yeah, it was not a need for the king, it was rather a need for those great personalities to express their love and appreciation and service attitude towards him, because he's a representative of God. Like, for example, if a representative of a big country comes to your country, immediately they want to give something very special, something unique, something expensive, to show their appreciation to the representative of the country. So, same logic goes here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhagavatam ki, Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi.